кажется, в будущем живет. Настоящее уныло. Все мгновенно. Все пройдет.
Rinat Leyshev, former head of the Sambo 70 Education and Sports Center, spoke about the future of Kamila Valieva. In his opinion, the figure skater will sooner or later be able to create her own ice show. Of course, before creating something of their own, people first develop, participate in someone's projects, and then come to the decision to create something on their own. This is their independent decision, but it cannot be denied that in the future, Kamila will also want to create something of her own. Kamila is a young girl, she will continue to develop and develop. Leyshev told RIA Novosti. Valieva told whether there is rivalry among the figure skaters performing the same role. Kamila Valieva is currently performing in Tatyana Navka's show, Evenings on a Farm in Sochi. She plays the role of Adarka. The same role was played by Olympic champions Alina Zagitova and Anna Shcherbakova. Do you still have inner ambitions when you go out on the ice, playing the same role that Anya Shcherbakova or Alina Zagitova skates? I speak for myself. I always try to do the maximum that I can. Of course, we watch. I was interested in how Anna Shcherbakova feels and skates, with what emotions, what elements she emphasizes. But as such, there is no rivalry in the show. It's a little bit about adult relationships. Sport is a separate preparation, a separate world. And in the show, you still skate more for the audience, and not for the sake of receiving an award after. Your main award is the spectators' ovation and their joy. Valieva said on the air of the channel Russia 1, Sochi. In the early 2020s, figure skater Kamila Valieva won worldwide fame with her outstanding achievements. Terry Tubberds' talented student set records and won her first Olympic gold at the age of 15 in a team tournament, the results of which ended in scandal. Russian figure skater Valieva became known even to those who are not interested in sports during the 2022 Olympic Games. Then, the 15-year-old athlete was accused of doping, which attracted the attention of the press. Despite the various reactions of the public and colleagues, Valieva was able to find the strength to continue her career, and participated in tournaments until her disqualification. The Court of Arbitration for Sport suspended Kamila Valieva from competitions until the end of 2025. How does the athlete live now and what does she do in the absence of constant training? In February 2022, Kamila Valieva took part in the fight for Olympic gold in the team tournament. Despite the blots in her performances, the athlete took first place in both the short and free programs. Thanks to such an impressive contribution to the overall score, the Russian figure skaters were able to easily take first place in the team tournament, but the awards ceremony never took place. As the International Olympic Committee later reported, a banned substance was found in a sample taken 2 months ago by one of the athletes on the Russian team. This drug does not affect endurance indicators, and is used exclusively to treat cardiac diseases, but its use is permitted for international athletes only with special permission, after providing a certificate from a doctor. Despite the test result, Kamila Valieva was allowed to compete in the individual competition, but with one condition. If the athlete takes a prize place, the awards ceremony will not take place. The skater took first place in the short program, but after the free program she dropped to fourth. Spectators are still not sure why the athlete performed so poorly. Some claim that she did it on purpose, so that the awards ceremony would take place. Others think that Valieva was affected by fatigue after the team tournament and constant stress, due to the media attention amid the doping scandal. Later, Kamila admitted that the banned substance most likely entered her body from the product that her grandfather used. The athlete also said that she considers the requirements of the World Anti-Doping Agency too harsh. She acknowledged the presence of the substance in the doping test, but emphasized that it entered her body completely by accident. The following season, Kamila Valieva continued to compete, presenting one of her most memorable programs to the public, The Truman Show, in which she expressed her pain from what happened at the Olympic Games. In January 2024, it became known that the court had ruled on Valieva's case, and in March she was excluded from the Russian national team, and all her results for the past few years were annulled, and she was also banned from training with a coach, and participating in ice shows sponsored by the state until the end of 2025. Despite her busy schedule and constant competitions, Kamila Valieva never had problems with her studies. The figure skater received her secondary general education at the Sambo 70 school, which has a huge number of athletes, so the teachers were used to private absences, and could help her understand some missed topic. It turned out that Kamila Valieva was the only girl in the class. Representatives of the General Education Institution emphasized that the athlete was not given any concessions, so her result was fully deserved. Valieva graduated from school without any CS, and even received the statuette of Best Graduate. At the last bell, Kamila Valieva admitted that she was going to get a coaching education. However, later the athlete emphasized, if possible, she would not mind developing creative skills. In August of this year, it became known that Valieva nevertheless entered the Moscow State University of Sport and Tourism to become a coach. A little later, the director of the school from which the athlete graduated also announced that his former student entered the MGIMO Faculty of Journalism. In addition, he said that Kamila Valieva was invited to work on Channel 1. Later, the figure skater confirmed his words and admitted that she would host a new show about traveling around the regions of Russia. Since the 2022 test skates, Kamila Valieva has been accused of gaining weight. The athlete did not deny this fact and did not react to such exclamations. However, Valieva recently decided to close this issue and said that she gained weight due to leaving big-time sports and bad eating habits since childhood. According to the figure skater, constant training helped her maintain the ideal weight for jumping. The skaters were weighed daily. Valieva admitted that the coaches scolded her even for gaining 100 grams, so her attitude to food cannot be called healthy. Kamila emphasized that she looked not at the calorie content, but at the amount of food, so instead of a piece of meat she chose a chocolate bar, which negatively affected her health. The moment of disqualification fell on puberty. A sharp decrease in activity and hormones led to the fact that Valieva quickly gained weight. This result was also influenced by the athlete's unhealthy diet, as well as constant overeating. Kamila admitted that now she tries not to limit herself, gently moving towards healthy eating. Otherwise, as the skater says, she will have a night with a bag of chocolates under the blanket, which she will not be able to resist. And a few months ago, Valieva unexpectedly dyed her hair blonde, surprising all her fans. At some point, the audience did not even recognize the famous athlete, but later admitted, the new image suits her. Now the athlete often posts videos from the gym on social networks, and the skater focuses on strength exercises. In addition, Valieva continues to train on the ice, although less often than before, and without a coach. In May of this year, it became known that Kamila Valieva will take part in Tatiana ice shows, which will take place in the summer in full. In July, the athlete could already be seen in the Project Ruslan and Lyudmila, in which she skated in a pair with Alexander Embert. The show organizers emphasized that permission to participate in ice shows was received from the World Anti-Doping Agency. In addition, Kamila Valieva has already begun studying at 2 universities. However, the athlete's form of education remains unknown. Even after finishing school, the figure skater emphasized that she wanted to devote maximum attention to her studies. There is no information yet about the start date of filming of the new show for Channel 1, but there is information that Karina Cross will be Valieva's co-host. As part of the program, the girls will travel around Russia and talk about the traditions of various regions. It is interesting that Kamila Valieva's coaches continue to hope for the athlete's return to big-time sports after the end of her disqualification period. However, the figure skater herself tries not to comment on this issue, leaving herself the right to choose depending on the situation.